You want to kill me, don't you, Tucker? Well, get a number and get in line. That's not.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Australian guy. I didn't know you were trying to do Lithgow.
I know it turned into Australian.
Yeah, like, I thought you were going to do like I was a great striker.
I was a great
Did
striker.
You ever play football?
That was pretty good.
Play football. Yeah.
You have to sound like a sophisticated Englishman.
You want to kill me, don't you, Tucker?
No, that's.
We'll get a number and get in line.
Now you're in New
No,
Zealand.
he does it like this angry British man.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. I tried. Well,
You want to kill me, Tucker?
You want to kill me, don't you?
Get in line. Something like that.
you want to kill me, Tucker?
Get in line.
Well, get a number and get in line.
That's better.
All right. Well,
It's not a great accent.
it's
like
not.
in the movie itself.
Everything I read about was everyone hated his accent. But I thought it was amazing.
It's all right. It's not bad.
It's fine for the movie that he's in. Like if he'd gone like all crazy to have like a perfect accent, I think that would have been too much work.
If it was Kevin Costner trying to do an accent, it would have been a lot worse.
Well, welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? Watch out for those stalactites as we get down the mountain of Cliffhanger from 1993.
Woo!
Experience the wildest thrill ride of the year. A white-knuckle action adventure.
Apocalypse Now.
It's the adrenaline rush of the
Wagner?
summer. Pure high-energy excitement. Hang on for the ultimate adventure. Cliffhanger. Rated R. Starts Friday, May 28th at a theater near you.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. Taking Me Away Tribe and Up in the Air Cole. Glad to have you on this part 2 of Cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. All right, let's jump straight into
Let me tell you something, Pandeo.
popcorn trivia.
Alrighty.
I've got a couple good ones, I think. Stallone partly took on this project in an effort to help him conquer his fear of heights.
I heard that. That's kind of funny. Inspiringly funny, I guess.
I feel like that's something like Tom Cruise would do. He's like, I want to learn how to do
Yeah, but this
thing.
is more like I think that movies should be my therapy.
If you're going to do therapy, you might as well get paid $100 million
That's right.
individuals to do it.
Oh, this is great. I actually thought of this when I was watching the movie, but Stallone said that he was in the best shape of his life in the movies Rocky IV, Rambo 3, and Cliffhanger.
Yeah, he's juicing. No way he wasn't.
I've always said this, but that's fine. Keep juice is.
I mean, yeah, he's not competing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's
I don't
like,
care.
If you want to shrink your testes,
If you want to, like, I mean, you just got to, just be careful with it. You don't damage, do too much damage to yourself. And,
I mean,
get
go
swole.
ahead, damage it. I don't care. I just want cool movies with giant, huge actors. It's good. This was dedicated to Wolfgang Gulich. Sylvester Stallone's double in the film, who was killed in a car accident shortly after filming had finished.
apparently one of the greatest mountain climbers of his time at the time.
And by the way, it was not dedicated to him, unless we missed it.
No, it was.
In memory.
It was dedicated to two people.
In
Oh,
memory,
that's right.
There was two of them.
They buried it in the very last second.
Well,
of
yeah, he
credits.
wasn't famous.
Well,
So otherwise they would have confused people.
they dedicated a movie after Bart the Bear. Can we not get
Did they? What movie is that? Bart the Bear.
The Edge?
Oh, really?
Yes.
They dedicated that to the bear in the
It's at
movie?
the end.
Correct.
yeah.
That's cool.
It is. That's what I'm saying. We get Bart the Bear getting a credit, like a in memoriam, but we can't get one for
What
this
happened
guy.
to him?
He died. He was
He's just an
old.
old bear.
Oh, okay.
He's like 20, 30 years
I thought maybe they actually killed him.
Oh man.
No, Ben, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just
The
And now your
director,
host, Gentle Ben.
the director initially turned down the opportunity to direct as he didn't want to make another Die Hard.
whatever. That's Rennie Harlan's. Like you made Die Hard too.
Like, let's do it. Make more.
yeah. I don't.
And then the villains turned out to be of the same sort of cloth.
I like this. This is the last film to contain the 1984 TriStar Pictures logo.
Really?
That's cool.
Pony running towards the screen
I love that logo.
where it jumps.
This one I thought was funny. The Denver Mint featured in the film as the producer of the cash stolen by Quaylen and his associates actually only produces coins. $100 million from the Denver Mint would weigh 2.5 tons.
Dang.
That would have been pretty funny.
Or no, not
My buffalo
2.5,
nickels.
2,500 tons.
Yeah,
I read that wrong.
Yeah.
2,500 tons in coins. So the 2-story high cliff built for the climatic battle sequence burned to the ground completely in 8 minutes when the miniature helicopter explosion got out of control.
Oh.
Good thing they filmed it
The
already.
heat was so intense, it melted one of the cameras.
Whoopsies.
Well,
Director Rennie Harlan was initially reluctant to cast Stallone, who had a reputation of taking over the films that he stars in. Partly to test Stallone, Harlan stated that he wanted to change the heroic opening scene. Gabe Walker rescues a wounded eagle on the mountain to the tragic one, a woman slips from Walker's hand. Stallone agreed, and they didn't have any problems during the film.
really, that was Rennie Harlan's idea?
That's a good idea, actually.
It was amazing.
It's
Yeah,
it's the best part of the show.
The original
Hands down, the best part of the show.
so the original script had him just like petting an eagle at the top of a mountain.
But like,
being
what would cause him to want to disappear for the future? Before
I mean,
he
I guess
could come back?
that stuff wasn't really necessary. It just created like dramatic tension between like the two guys, and
Well, but
Which
at the
was
same
great.
time, why is he so nervous? Like,
I mean,
so
it gives
hesitant
him
at the
like
beginning?
actual like depth that he doesn't have otherwise if you didn't have that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it makes it a more layered movie for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I don't need any.
That's
eagles.
crazy though that wasn't in the original script.
I mean, they had like many people that were writing scripts.
Yeah,
This is,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. All right, let's get into popcorn beefs.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
All right, I have 4 beefs, a quad beef.
All right.
TriStar Pictures and Corelco Pictures planned a sequel in 1994 called The Dam, which was described as Die Hard in a dam.
Like
This has to have been where
the
Daylight
Hoover
came
Dam,
from.
right? The Hoover Dam had to have been.
Correct. And would have Sylvester Stallone's character from this movie fighting terrorists
Trying to blow up the Hoover Dam.
who took over the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, well, like, if you look at the Hoover Dam, it's like very tall, so that's why. Yeah,
Well,
But it never went beyond the development stage. Stallone tried to resurrect the project again in 2008, but it never happened.
thank goodness.
Can you imagine Die Hard in the Dam?
yeah, that makes perfect sense because it's like a power plant, and you could have like either be like eco terrorists
call it.
or like.
But the whole point is, as a mountain climber, though, so like once you scale one side of that dam or scale
well,
back down,
I mean,
it,
maybe they have. I bet you they would have been going up and down it,
They could have called it Damn Hard
back, up and down, and then through it. And yeah, no, they could have done it.
or Hard
it could
Dam
have been called Dam Straight.
or Hard Dam.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The amount of ideas that they come up with, like that
Yes.
never make it to production, is just amazing.
I just have loved all the things that I've unearthed about Corelco Pictures and the scripts that they never got made.
I wonder what happened to them. If you could still just like option them now, I don't know.
I don't know, but go watch the documentary, please. It's just worth your time. 3 more beefs. During one climbing, so my beef is that they didn't make this movie. That's my
yeah,
beef.
fair enough.
You're mad that they didn't make the sequel?
Correct.
Set in the Hoover Dam.
I am. That's my beef. During one climbing scene, Rennie Harlan complained that the safety lines were visible, so the stuntman performed the climbing without any safety lines.
Free soloed it.
That's a beef.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's
No.
not okay, Rennie.
That's insane.
That's messed up, dude.
Yeah, Rennie, you should apologize for
My
that.
beef is with Harlan. I love the movie, but don't
Yeah,
kill
that's
people.
that's
Yeah.
needless risk. It's very.
What about this beef? Christopher Walken was originally cast as Quaylen,
oh, I read that.
but
I'm
left
so
the
mad.
production before filming began so that Lithgow was cast at the last minute.
Oh, that explains the accent. He shouldn't have done it. I don't think the accent was
Well,
necessary.
it explains the look too, the slick back hair and the like.
Yeah.
we put together.
Yeah,
I
Would you
guarantee
have rather had
I would have
Walken?
Christopher Walken any day as a villain.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah,
He would have been way more charismatic.
That's my beef. I like Lithgow. He does a good
Lithgow's
job.
amazing. Lithgow
doing
belongs on the stage.
He's doing like the Alan
Walken
Rickman
belongs.
impersonation from
Yeah.
Die Hard. Like that's what he's doing. So,
Yeah.
and it's like again hearing that he came in, it's like that makes sense. Yeah, he's
But big beef. I would have loved Walken in.
Guarantee Walken would have had a mustache, kind of like Hans Gruber from the first Die Hard.
Yeah.
Given him more facial, like
That would
Yeah.
have been sick.
had like a handlebar mustache to make him look totally evil,
Oh man.
like a robber baron from the 1800s.
We missed out. The last beef. The film has been criticized
oh,
for its unrealistic portrayal of rock
you
climbing.
don't say.
One example. One example. Shut up, dude.
Really?
Now color me perplexed.
One example is the feature of the bolt gun. See, I brought this up.
Yeah.
Which fires bolts directly into rock, foregoing the usual rock drilling and bolt hammering used in rock climbing. This ignores certain material properties of rock that should cause the bolt gun's impact site to shatter and explode with flaky projectiles.
It would create cracks. Yeah.
The bolt gun is considered the most serious of the film's technical inaccuracies.
If you're building a bridge, maybe.
I mean, there's a billion inaccuracies, but further examples are showing athletic moves which have no use in real climbing or free soloing with.
You got to show off your muscles somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
Get out of here, nerds. Climbing nerds.
I also think that like
Actually, that is factually not correct.
be like,
This is so unbelievable. I don't know
Like
how
you would
people
never
can be
use
immersed.
a bolt gun.
and I guess we probably should. I would add this as an extra side beef is there's no way that she would have her harness, even if it failed. Like there was like 10 other things that would have kept her safe.
Shut up.
Well, and during a real rescue, you'd fly directly over and
Yeah,
boost them up on
that
a
is probably the
helicopter.
thing that bothered me the most is that you would be flying above them because then they can't fall over nothing.
If somebody's going to be rescued, you're not going to
Yeah.
stretch it out over the dangerous cliff to have.
Yeah,
them get
like
to
yeah, that's the
safety.
thing. Because the way you see that is that they like put in you like you've seen like the viral footage of the woman spinning and like the weird like body bag thing and
Oh yeah,
yeah, like that's
when
what
they
you would
rescue
do is
people.
you do up because I mean you can't fall over the mountain that you're standing on, you know.
That's
Or if you
true.
do, it's the minimum. It's like the least amount of
Yeah.
drop that you'll incur.
And
Well-
like in the how stable that helicopter was that they had a line is not.
And they also got really close to the side of the cliff,
Yeah.
which would have blown them off the cliff. Probably.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's
in that scene
like
that's
being
not.
able, thinking that they're able to communicate and talk to each other.
Yeah, when
There's
they're-
helicopters right next to them trying to rescue
That's
them.
pretty funny
There's
too.
no
They
way.
do that later when he's driving his car and they're like going like 40 miles an hour and their windows are down and they're just chatting
Just having a
casually.
casual,
They're like, "What's up, bro? We're
Look-
getting up there to go get gnarly, man. It's gonna get gnarly."
Man, I wish we had air hockey we could play
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
That'd be so sweet.
That's a kind of another beef. Do we lose those characters?
It's
One-
important because it shows how evil the other guys are.
One lives.
That
They
they
said
would
they were.
harm these beautiful
They,
adventure-loving
Does he live?
guys.
they,
yeah,
they didn't
one of
want
them
any
does.
witnesses, but Frank, when he's talking on the radio, when they're trying
Yeah,
to
he
get out of
takes
the
one
crack,
back. He takes the guy who got shot in
He's
the back.
like, he's shot in the back. He's on his way to the hospital right now with injuries.
yeah.
So one dies, but one lives.
Okay.
Just not well.
Yeah, that guy.
It's to show that they're evil.
They're gonna.
I don't know that they do anything else.
They're going
to
to kill
plot.
any witnesses that are getting involved.
I didn't like those guys. Get them out.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? They're cool.
They're not cool.
They're like the bank robbers.
In terms of 1993, they were totally cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Any beefs you guys had with the film?
I mean, it was what you said, like where it just cuts to things. Like it just like, yeah, we don't got time. No.
The editing is very.
He found. I mean, there's also a lot of like
There's no
a lot of
superfluous scenes.
very like convenient happening upon each other in a very wide, mountainous area. And yeah, again,
Yeah, like they're climbing up to rescue these people
Very quickly.
Then all of a sudden they're in the thick of the conversation of let's go get the money. I'm like, whoa, that was crazy.
yep. And the movie's filled with that. It's just how it is.
so
But it gets you close, like you said, Taylor. It gets you closer to the getting the money.
Yeah,
that's the whole.
and don't even think about it. This movie's not going to reward you for being like, this is not accurate.
it kills me because there's that opening scene and he lets her drop like the glove and it's all the trauma and the bad blood and everything. But then towards the end of the movie, when John Lithgow has his girlfriend or wife in the helicopter with her, it kills me because it's like drop her off over there. Okay. So then he just flies over and lets her go. So then she's free off the hook when she should have stayed on the helicopter when it crashed or when it went over somehow. So then he's right back to where he's gotta fend off the bad guy. But
Wait, what?
He's seen there should have been like a return to there
should have been a callback
He
to the
should have had to
earlier
like
scene.
hold her and then pull her up,
So
like
the bad
in like
guy-
reminiscence of the first opening.
So him and John Lithgow are fighting on the helicopter upside down on this cliff edge. they should have brought the woman back somehow and involved her so that he's got like it's
But we had that scene.
but it lasted for 15 seconds. Like
That's true.
She started to slip and then she
Yeah.
just climbed
See,
up
now-
and it was over.
The reason that's not in there, I bet, is because that opening scene wasn't in the original script. So there's no reason that they would have
That's a good point.
that symmetry.
They
to
wouldn't
it.
call back to it that easily.
I think they tried, but it would have been much more impactful.
Yeah, they would have
if she was
they would have
involved
focused
somehow.
on it a lot more if it was meant to be in the original script.
I don't always agree with you, Cole, but that's a great beat.
That's one thing. Like
I love that beat.
Yeah, like I love that you want this like very artistic, symmetrical story.
Well, no,
and
that's
this,
what
like,
bothers me is
90s
there's-
trash.
like the opening scene is so good and so like intense that you're like it holds on to you for a minute, but then you get to the end of it and they just drop her off over here. Whereas like there needs to be something. He's holding on to her on a ladder, and then
Maybe they
Lithgow's
were going
trying
to
to
do
grab
that,
onto
but
her.
they
and
burned the set.
that is true. They probably could have ruined it. They ruined.
They're
their
like,
chances.
well, we don't got time to do it. Yeah, we're not doing it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great beef. Any more beefs, Taylor, that we missed?
No.
All right. I have two puzzles.
It's a perfect movie. It has no flaws.
I have two puzzles.
A sphincter says what? What? A sphincter says what? What? Exactly.
Exactly.
I have one more beef that seems weird. If I can go back.
Yes, let's return to beef.
No, just so it seems strange though, because the beginning of the movie they have to climb up there because they say they can't get a helicopter up there due to the storm. But then about 20 minutes later, Frank's out there flying around in his helicopter, and then here comes the FBI in their helicopter.
The
flying
storm
around through the
passed.
mountains.
They stay overnight. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Because they're doing
camping out in
they
the
were
tent.
doing deflation at the time. That's how they get through.
Me and Cole were confused because of the weird editing.
Absolutely,
It jumps
kind of
around
just
so
like
bad.
I bet you had forgotten that there was night in that movie because it's like 2 scenes.
The night vision goggles. You're right.
Don't
And
you
then-
remember? It's like we're in Tent City, bro. We're in Tent City.
That's the thing. It was the scene. They find the first case in the dark, and then the hippies, and then all of a sudden it's like morning, and you're right.
They're
back
not
to where you were.
hippies. They're surfer dudes.
I love that scene with the night vision goggles. It's so great.
Be so
Yeah.
disorienting,
Oh, yeah,
trying
yeah.
to shoot and run, and while looking
Where
at
he
the night
where he
vision.
rides him off the ledge like a yeah.
I felt like his
conveyor belt of snow that he used to grind the skin off his face.
is it the one where he
Ice axe.
cuts his like shin?
No, that was the guy in the cave above the
the black
cave.
dude in the
Yeah,
cave.
that
He
was
jumps out of
that
the
was
hole
that
and
was
hits him
that
in the
was
leg.
Cool Runnings.
No, but when he flashes him with the flare,
Yeah.
does he kill him with the gun?
He drops the
He uses
gun
it
and
to-
then they start tumbling down the.
He uses the flare to blind.
They start tumbling down the hill and he like positions himself on top of him.
He
And
uses
then,
him as a human
So-
sled.
as a human sled, and then
Stallone uses his hook to grab on.
Yeah.
The other guy just goes flying off.
the other
mountain
guy
and
shoots
dies
off the edge like a wagon.
into the darkness of his.
I love that he pushes his face into the snow.
Yeah,
It's the best.
Yeah,
of all time.
it's good stuff.
All right, let me give you my two puzzles, and then we'll get into redemption, which is where we get to talk about all the things we liked. And we need to revisit.
What's another beef? They are not concerned about using ammo, considering they don't have access to more.
Well, but then half the time they are because then they're worried about alerting people. But
That's
then they just start
interesting.
opening fire.
Because it's like they're not meant to be out there. Like,
They shoot a lot.
They do
ammo.
and it's like
And the C4 that they have. They
you think
have
that
a
they
lot
would
of
be more
explosives.
careful with that? 'Cause it's like you're not getting more of that while you're out here.
While we're talking about ammo and guns, that little tiny Uzi gun
Yeah,
was so
The
cool.
submachine
Mac-10?
gun.
And you guys said that it's like a garbage gun.
I mean, yeah, it's the one that's used in Falling Down too. Like,
It's-
Oh, really?
It was like, yeah, it was cheap for what it was. Like, that's why that's like the one you can actually still get, like as far as
They're-
registered
it's
machine
like
guns.
$250, and you can. Have
At the
something
time,
like
it was.
that.
I mean, now it's
Why is it so bad? It just
So-
jams
cheap,
up.
just cheap and shoots really fast. So
It's,
you can't.
you have a
control it.
tiny barrel, so as soon as that bullet exits, it's just spreading
goes-
all over the place.
That and it shoots really fast, so you're just going through like your entire thing. It's just it was not meant to.
If
be
it
like-
doesn't jam, on
I'm
you.
pretty sure like it was mostly used by like criminals and stuff.
Well, then
But I don't
that,
think it ever had a military contract. Like
that
the
like
other
points a light that there's no way he could have shot those stoner dudes.
He
probably-
had he had a different gun.
He probably
no, he
whipped
didn't.
him.
He used
No,
that tiny little.
He was using the Mac 10.
the black guy.
The
came
Mac
with
10.
the Mac
Okay,
10,
I
yeah.
was gonna say well, the other person had like an MP5, which
Lithgow turns
was
around
a military gun.
nods at him. The FBI dude, one of them had an Israeli Uzi at one
Yeah.
point.
Anyway, there's lots of 80s, late 90s, early 90s
Weaponry.
weaponry.
lot of good
a lot of
guns.
80s action stuff.
Everyone had a Beretta 92 FS.
We forgot to from last week go over the body count.
Oh yeah, it's not very high.
What's the body count?
So the lady at the
6
beginning,
people, you could, yeah, you absolutely can.
Lithgow, Cool Runnings, the crooked FBI guy,
Yes, the great striker,
the English dude, the guy that he rides down the sled with,
soccer player.
the one hippie.
We're really going to count them all up.
Well, there wasn't that many. There's either 8 or 9.
Yeah.
17.
What? How? Oh, I guess the plane. A lot of
Oh,
people,
that's
yeah,
right,
a
the
lot of
guys
people,
in the
like, there's
plane.
quite a few people down there.
There's some undescript guys in
There
there.
was 4 people in the plane,
crew.
and then the woman. That's right. There's
Yeah.
quite a few.
And maybe some old guy passed away in his sleep at the
sounds
Denver
right.
Mint.
That sounds right. Yeah, 17.
Somebody choked on their steak.
I'm good with it.
By
That
the way,
sounds
there
fine.
were so many people walking around in the halls of the Denver Mint.
Yeah, that was
It
crazy.
looked like an airport.
I thought it was an
But
airport.
they
but-
just had a lot of their money stolen, so maybe they're all on alert.
yeah.
I didn't like that. That's a beat. If we can go back
You
to
don't know
beefs.
what it's required to run the Mint in 1993.
Well, I don't know. I
It's
guess.
before, I don't know.
All right, here's my puzzles. I have 2. To demonstrate his faith in the safety equipment, director Rennie Harlan put on a harness and flung himself out on a cable over a cliff.
Cool.
So this is the guy we just mentioned that he told one of the stunt performers to remove his stuff because it looked horrible. And now he's like putting it on and saying, hey, look, this is really good. I'm going to jump out of a plane.
Well, yeah, because he's asking the actors to do that, and that's not their job. Their job isn't.
But he told him
die.
to remove his
But-
harness.
No, he told the stunt guy who.
But the stuntman could have also
Yeah,
refused to do it as
The
well.
stuntman is peasant trash who doesn't deserve Rennie Harlan's respect.
It's just like Spielberg getting in that pool for Poltergeist to show that you're not going to get electrocuted.
Such a weird. It's just puzzling to me. That's why it's in puzzles. And my last puzzle is Rennie Harlan's first choice to play Quaylen was David Bowie.
All right. Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been amazing.
That's crazy,
yeah,
right?
That would have worked. I love it. That's great.
Could have worked.
Oh, it
Sure.
totally could have worked.
Absolutely.
That would have made it so much more iconic for the 90s if he had pulled that
Absolutely.
off. That would have been amazing.
So if he like, yeah, he did, especially if he did like the labyrinth voice too. He's like, Sarah.
Walker, I can't stand you, Walker. I'm going to
yeah,
get
his
that money.
His accent would have been
Amazing.
way dope.
Yeah, no, it
So
would be
we
good.
we passed on David Bowie and Christopher Walken.
Bowie, I think,
Lithgow.
or Bowie would have been able to be way more menacing than Lithgow was.
Look out. I just think
I
he
think
needed more.
Walken would have been more menacing, and David Bowie would have been more creepy.
I think he would have been more iconic.
I think
if it had
Walken
been
would have had a better
Bowie.
personality. He
I
would
think
have been more
Bowie would have
enjoyable
like
villain.
been like at least as good as Rickman in terms of just kind of like that charisma
but we
That
saw
swagger.
Bowie act in
as a villain.
what's that?
Was it Labyrinth?
Well, no, in Labyrinth. I'm talking
Dance,
about later.
magic dance.
Later on, is the Illusionist? Was he?
No,
yeah.
it was the Prestige.
The
or the
Prestige.
Prestige?
Yeah,
Okay.
Prestige.
So obviously he did an amazing job in there. But do you think back in the early '90s he could
Yeah.
have been?
Oh, heck yeah.
Labyrinth, man.
Labyrinth was only like 5
That was
6
like
years
80
before.
something.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
but like,
87.
I mean, what is required for this role?
All right, you're right. Okay,
As long as
rest
he
my
didn't
case.
chew the scenery too much, it would have been acceptable.
all right.
I mean, Lithgow is not. It's the villain role in this is not layered. You know, he's just like they just kind of say he's like, he was a CIA asset who went rogue and it just is likes doing crimes and violence.
Oh man, speaking of let's talk about the deaths. we've got a stalactite.
Man, one of the it's top tier.
Stallone pushing.
Yeah,
up
he does like
guy.
a press,
Bench
man.
press into a stalactite.
We've got
No, it's like an overhead press because he's not on a bench.
a shotgun to the
How dare you?
No, to the chest.
to the chest to that one guy.
Yep.
After he cut his tendon on his leg with his knife.
Yeah, that's where he was going to kick
Kick him
Rooker
off
off
the
the cliff, which was dope.
We've got the lady falling to her death in a very long shot at the very beginning.
And
all
we
the
got
way down.
another person in a very long dart. The guy who falls off that he uses a
The
human sled.
sled. Falling
He
off.
shoots off
It's
like a rocket,
really extended cut of him falling, into his
flailing,
death.
yeah, helplessly.
And then the crooked FBI agent taking several bolts to the face and body through the eyes
that
and
was
the leg.
yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah.
sick. That was awesome. And we've got the guy getting like shot multiple times on the heist, and him getting up and then getting shot again and then blown
Yeah,
up.
and he's also shoots at the airplane, which is pretty cool too.
That
Oh,
is
yeah,
really
no. He unloads on that thing. He was a good shot.
That's why. That's why the movie happens. Really, it's like they needed that because otherwise they would just be like, "Well, we can come get these whenever. No one knows they're
we
here."
forgot about the guys who get shot, the FBI agents.
There's
in the-
four people die in the plane.
the
5 people.
plane.
Yeah, that was where we were.
and
missing
that was
people.
jarring. There was a lot of like
Oh, they
boom,
get-
boom, boom,
they get torn
blood
apart
everywhere.
Yeah, there's
machine
like
guns.
there's like triple double crosses, and then yeah.
And then the shot to the head of the pilot.
Yeah.
That was
By the pilot next to him.
insane.
Yeah, that's good. It's all good stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, well, there's
This is what people were paying for.
I mean, we're already talking about things that we like, but
I have exercised
this
the
is
demon.
Popcorn Redemption. This was created because of Cole choosing terrible films like
Hey.
Macbeth. But
Macbeth.
we always need to end on a
Wasn't
good
movie.
note. So this is Popcorn Redemption. I have 3 redemptions. The credits include a message which explains that the black diamond harness used in the opening scene was specially modified so that it would not work.
Did it really? I missed that.
I did not read that, but
So you're
I
just
bet-
trusting the trivia.
I bet Black Diamond.
Oh yeah,
Was
you wouldn't.
pissed.
Yeah, you wouldn't want your product looking like that. Yeah.
Like, our stuff works real well.
Excuse me. So yeah, like racing games that don't let you damage the car. They're like, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. All right, here's a good one. The movie's most breathtaking scenes were shot in the Dolomite Mountains in Italy. The bridge scene was shot on Monte Cristallo, Ferrata, Ivano di Bona,
All right.
wherever that is. The crew stayed in Cortina more than 3 months.
Nice.
Further filming took place in Durango, Colorado, and the credits of the film also thank the Ute tribe for filming in the Ute Mountain Reservation.
There you go.
Durango.
What's
very
the
pretty.
UN is? I don't know.
So we're giving thanks to the
All these mountain
Italians,
ranges.
the mountains,
Yeah, it's just
Colorado,
going where it worked, I guess.
and
Fake
the
mountain
Utes,
range
the
sets.
Ute tribe.
Yeah, good for them.
Brings us back to Utah, where we're from.
No, don't dox yourself.
Sorry. And the last one, the opening scene where Sarah slips. This is my most favorite. That's why I saved it to last. She slips from Gabe's hand. It had to be done several times because Sarah's glove would not slip off as planned in order to. And
Interesting.
here's what I think really happened. Stallone's masculine grip was not allowed to let her go.
Yeah. The lizard brain just would. He's like, I can't let no.
I'm so strong. He was so. I'd never let you go.
Yeah, he's like, you can't do it.
In order to get it to slide off, Harlan had her wear a glove that was a couple sizes too big
You can tell when you look at it. It looks like she shoved a sock over her hand.
and then filled the glove with Vaseline.
Oh yeah, that'll slip right off.
And even then, Stallone's grip was too tight and the glove almost stayed
I
on.
bet her wrists looked swell for like a week afterwards after filming all that.
Yeah, he
Probably
must have
bruised to
crushed
hell.
her
Yep, just a
carpal.
perfect permanent hand damage from.
Is it called metatarsal?
I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong guy.
Crushed her metatarsals. I love that. I love the movie. I'm so glad that I watched this with you guys.
Rectified your errors.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm going to watch it again. It's really great. What do you guys like about this?
It's
It's just over the top fun.
it's fun. Don't think about it too hard.
But okay, let's just get into ratings. What do you rate it?
It's good. A good amount of stars.
A good amount of stars. That's not very many.
No. It's the best Rennie Harlan movie, I think, probably.
Oh, totally.
You think this is better than Die Hard 2?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Die Hard 2 is
I do
so
not like
dumb.
Die Hard 2.
It's so bad.
I think
Let's just have her circle on this plane.
Just the
for a
same
while.
thing. It's like they just like pulled everything. Yeah. We
All
could do one on Die Hard 2 on what I don't like about it. But
we should probably do the Die Hard films. That seems like a good idea.
well, I don't know. Later ones are bad.
Oh, yeah.
The last one.
Last one was not
hot
good.
garbage.
It was-
Maybe we just exclude that and it
Just,
doesn't.
just
even,
do first and third, and then they're both good.
No.
the fourth one's good.
The fourth one's
Yeah, it's
amazing and how
fine.
over the top it is.
Yeah,
It's great.
It has its charm. I agree.
He kills a
That crazy.
helicopter
he
with a car.
Yeah, he rides the jet too. There's lots. Never mind. There's lots.
That
to like
crazy
about the
French
fourth one.
guy that can jump from like
Yeah,
balcony
the
to balcony.
parkour stuff is great.
Maybe we just do 1 through 4 and that's all good.
Yeah.
Well, all right. You're persuading me to believe that this is better than Die Hard 2.
Yes. 100%.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know what
Okay.
else Rennie. Yeah, what a Long Good Night or whatever that other movie he did with Gina Davis. Not that good. So
That was okay.
It's better than
I'm trying to think of what other movies Rennie Harlan's done that I've seen. Because I mean, I think yeah. If you want to see the best movie, he's
better than Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Maker,
know,
the Dream Master.
I can't.
I swear that's the
I
one
would be
where-
speaking from ignorance.
I don't know.
I've not seen that one.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, she's in a sleeping bag and it turns into Freddy and he basically like swallows her whole.
That
like,
sounds
turns into
pretty
a sleeping
good if
bag
that's
and
in
eats
there.
her.
So maybe that one's better.
It's so funny. It's hilarious.
So we've got a good amount of stars.
Yeah,
some stars.
It's a good amount of stars.
A good amount of stars.
It's not a million, billion, trillion stars. It's below that.
Okay, a good amount of stars.
If I never see it again in my life, I wouldn't be lost. But if it comes on one night on TV, I would happily enjoy it and have a good 2 hours.
I
Laughing.
wouldn't have sought this out having seen it previously.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm shining a light on it.
But seeing it again, I was like, it's better than I remembered, actually, probably. Yeah.
It holds up.
Yeah,
relatively
it holds up better than I would have expected.
I mean, the stunt that was real, that the guy like is going from one plane to the next.
yeah,
it's
that
incredible.
stuff was all very good.
Rennie
yeah.
Harlan was Christopher Nolan before he.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, he's gone downhill for sure. I know Rennie's listening. I wish you the best of luck.
At least you're not Uwe Boll. You're doing a good job.
I've been criticized for giving too many golden buckets
By who?
past by many people.
They're like, this dummy likes everything.
So
Put any bright colors in front of him and he'll throw buckets at it.
it pains me to say I can only give this a large bucket.
You're letting the haters get to you,
It's
man.
4 out of 5.
You
stars.
know that you want to give it more.
I know. I do. I want to give it a golden bucket so much. What about you, Cole?
2.5.
2.5 out. You're out of 4, correct?
I do 4. 2.5 out of 4.
Usually you're 3.5, 4 stars at Cole.
Yeah, he's all like, he thinks everything's great.
Especially if he picks it.
Yeah,
right?
and if it's not.
Hey, I have.
Have you ever rated anything you
Yes.
picked?
Wait.
Oh yeah, no, I
Then
hate.
again-
Did you pick the Banshees of Inisherin?
No, we don't want to get into that because he was right. That's a good movie. The more I've thought about it, the more I've liked it.
I did pick that movie, and I'm happy I did.
The problem
There's a lot
is-
of depth to it.
The problem is I also thought it was good after I said it was bad.
Vindication.
No.
feels so good.
I've gone back.
Oh,
I
really?
think it's not a good movie.
No, I think it's good. I saw the most hilarious commercial for it though on TV where they were like, Banshees of Inisherin. It's like this is like
They make it seem like a
the most
lighthearted
impossible way of selling it that I've ever seen. Is like you can't sell with that movie.
Oh yeah, I hate
That
it.
movie's the most non-commercial plot and like premise I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's got to be the hardest.
It's not
movie to
funny
sell.
so much. It's funny in a way, but it has a lot going on.
I hated Willy's Wonderland. That was
not good.
horrible.
That was not good.
That was the worst.
That was like a Reddit movie.
Hey, they're halfway.
a Reddit forum wrote that movie.
They're halfway through filming Five Nights at Freddy's. I just don't know who's in it.
Really?
I've seen.
I had forgotten
scroll-
about that game at all.
I scroll through on Reddit and I keep seeing somebody. They're in somebody's town and they're showing all these production photos, like the outside of the setting and everything. But they're halfway through.
Willy's
right now.
Wonderland is a ripoff of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yep.
And also, why
100%.
hire Nicolas Cage and not make him say anything?
Maybe
Get outta here.
that was cheaper to do that because then you don't have to learn any lines and they could just like get all of his work done in a day.
That's probably
what happened.
well.
Just sit here and play this arcade game, Nick, for like 2 hours.
Yeah, and
pay
then
you some money.
and then fight some animatronics.
It wouldn't be a should you watch this with Taylor and Cole if we didn't end on
Have
sidetrack.
meaningless
weirdest
digressions.
yes.
Hey, you asked me if I hated some of my previous
It's
films.
true.
And we went there.
All right. Well, so we've got
The answer
2
is-
out of 5 stars from
2 out of 4.
Good amount of stars for me.
2.5
Out of 4.
out of 4.
It's a fun, dumb movie.
Exactly.
from 1 million frequent flyer
It's not
miles.
the
Cole.
best. I think Demolition Man's probably a funner, dumb movie from Stallone from this era.
Yeah,
but it's still
but-
good.
Well, the reason Demolition
Funner
Man-
and dumber.
Well, it's because you've got Wesley and Stallone who are like
Yeah.
good back and
Yeah.
forth. He actually has good supporting characters.
And Fake Future is funny.
And that weird guy from Beetlejuice.
Yep.
So we got some amount of stars and
A
for
regular bucket of popcorn.
No, he gave
Large,
a large.
large.
Bucket. He's just below a gold.
4 out of
But
5.
I mean, read between the lines. He's giving it a gold.
I'm not going to play the
He's
soundbite.
giving it a gold.
All right. That's it for this week.
He
But I-
loved it. It was made for him.
It was totally.
That's it for this week, but I am with you always. Look for me in the cloud at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you would share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest by visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. If you made it this far, go. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. I command thee. And as always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my reoccurring guests.
That's right.
Taylor Sailing Away Tribe.
That's right.
And how effing tall are you, Cole?
No, halfway to the moon, Cole.
Halfway to the moon with all of his miles, Cole.
Smacked my face on an exit sign.
How many miles
the other day?
did you went around the Earth 7 times last year?
3 years ago, right before the pandemic. It was like 3.5 times around the world or more.
Oh, is that what you sent me the other day? Mm-hmm. Well, he's always on the road.
Halfway
You're leaving
to the moon.
You're leaving again
And I'm
in
going
a couple days.
Long Island on Monday, and I really don't want to.
That sounds
Halfway to the moon.
crazy.
6.5 hour flight.
As always, it's a pleasure, gentlemen. Thanks for joining me. And remember, when you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out, but always bring the popcorn.
Yeah.